Hello, viewer. Welcome. This is a scene from the Living World of Darkness, Changeling and Mage venue. In this scene, Kegoma is going to be using his birthright a little selfishly. He has stumbled upon like a creative block, and he hasn't been able to further his art, tailcraft like he would like to. He considers this art a birthright. It's something that his people have used since the dawning of time. So he's really frustrated. So typically he wouldn't use his birthright in such a selfish way. But he's Bano, so he used the power of the list. He checked out a list. He checked off everything on the list, and that's not working for him to improve his art. So he's gonna get a little creative and just see where this journey leads him. He walks around New York for some time, counters a couple of fights, gang skirmish. But finally, he runs into someone he knows from about 3 months ago, like outside of a magic shop, and he kind of like approaches him, like hoping that maybe his power has led him to Connor, and that's where we'll start our scene. So coming down the street, Kagoma has on a very light like summer sweater, some jeans, and some dark black boots. He has like a satchel over his side, and he kind of just says your name kind of like low. He's like, Connor?
Um, I will be looking around trying to see who's calling him because he's not actually expecting anyone. So,
Uh, and you see Kagoma, you guys have met a couple of times and connected to weird changeling events. You have been crucial in the war they had about 4 months ago.
mhm.
But Kagoma hasn't ever been very talkative to a lot of people outside of, that type of family. So it is kind of weird maybe to see him out of context. Even out of context, Kagoma does stand out, however, because he has like this surreal like quality about him. And he says, "Yeah, I'm not sure if you remember, but I'm Kagoma."
Oh, hey Kagoma. I remember you being at the bar when, well, Rick was still with us.
Yeah, before shit went down. Yeah, I got real really quick.
Yeah. Hey, let's walk and talk.
Okay.
So, something happened?
Well, there's a lot of stuff that are always happening on our front. We can't really, we're not really the sit tight, stay quiet kind of type. So we create drama all around us. But I did kind of have a problem that I was hoping that I was trying to fix today. Um, Maybe you can help me out with it.
Sure, if it's something that I can help you with.
Okay. It's kind of very ethereal.
Yeah, I'm good with that, but you
Okay.
kind of go on.
He kind of says, okay, okay, I thought you were. And he kind of like wiggles his fingers in that ridiculous way that mundane people think may just have to do to use magic.
Not like that, but anyway, do you need something?
Yeah, I just wanted to talk. I just need to get my head around something. Um,
Okay.
so uh, I have a place that we can go to if you don't mind. Do you mind?
Oh, please go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Um, and he will take you to the subway. He will pay the toll for the fare. You guys go uptown to Manhattan.
Mhm.
And he has a old apartment that he used to have still that he's renting in Manhattan. Can't let go of that place for some reason. Um, Paying rent there for nothing. But he goes
Mhm.
into the apartment. It doesn't look like it's been used currently. There's the dust covers over everything. But he
Mhm.
pulls one away from like a couch that's kind of in the center of the room. It is a big plush kind of like beige leather couch. He's like, please have a seat. Can I interest you in something to drink? Water? I think there's some wine, some juices in here.
Uh, do you have water or orange juice?
It doesn't look like orange juice, but we have water definitely.
Okay,
Um,
I'll go with water.
okay, sorry. He goes to the kitchen. It's going for like a couple of moments, and then he comes back with a bottle of water. It's a glass bottle because, well, he's pretentious.
Hmm.
And he opens it and passes it to Connor while he sits down with another bottle.
Hmm.
Um, he, well, our people have these very innate ways of expressing our own magic, and
Hmm.
I've kind of encountered a creative block that I was trying to find someone to help me with. Um,
Hmm.
from what my mentor taught me, um, because the nature of the Ishu dream, we're people from like this Middle Eastern region. So there's a lot of like philosophies and concepts that hold us together. And I have to kind of master and meld those concepts before I'm able to progress in my art any further.
Hmm.
Um, so there's the idea of these different chakras that I've been on the internet. I went
Hmm.
to those hoodoo voodoo new age classes, and all the stuff they're talking about is just like total hogwash because it hasn't helped me progress my art anymore. Um, there's the concept of the crown chakra,
Hmm.
which is the seat of like your intelligence. There's a concept of the throat chakra, which is truth, which is something that my people value very greatly, even though we're storytellers. And there's a concept of the heart chakra, which is kind of like the seat of the soul. Um,
Hmm.
and I know you were kind of spiritual, and I was wondering if you could maybe look and see if there's anything wrong with me, or maybe just talk me through something. I don't know. I'm desperate. He kind of hangs his head low. He's kind of smiling a little bit, but there is a sense of very real exasperation behind his smile.
Hey, I know what you mean because I've been trying to level up my stuff as well, and my little avatar hasn't gone back to me on that one. So yeah, I know what you mean.
uh,
I really do.
very frustrating.
Anyway,
Very frustrating.
so let's think about what is it exactly that you want to achieve. Let's go step by step.
Okay, so um, my people, my tribe, my kith, have a way of influencing reality with our voices or through our performance art. So not everyone uses their voice, but I do.
Hmm.
Um, and the next step for me is projecting. Is beyond illusion now. The next step is basically me using my voice to physically like bend reality. That's the next step for me, and I just can't master it. I'm supposed to be able to turn away attacks with my voice, and it seems so improbable. Maybe because I'm too old to master this. Um,
Mm,
but
not, I don't think so. The age so far in my magic studies is not about, well, the way I've been taught, and especially true to mages in general. It's you need to believe in what you're doing, because if you don't believe that what you're trying to do will happen, it won't happen. You know,
that's true. That's true.
first believe that it will happen. Believe that what you're doing has a say in everything that comes all around you. Because without that belief, that firm belief, it's not that you know that it happens. You believe, you know, you feel it. You feel it throughout your body, soul, mind, whatever. You know, it will happen.
Huh. That's very much like how we use magic. Is that how you guys use magic too?
Yeah, because if we don't believe that what we do will happen, it will weaken us. It might just make us not be able to use magic at all.
That's how we work. Like disbelief, it kind of shuts our magic down sometimes. It has to be pretty powerful disbelief, but it can. Huh. That's fascinating.
Yeah, well, in my case, it's more like well, I've been told throughout the many people that teach me is that well, normal mortals kind of fuck up my magic real bad, and I tend to not use it around them.
Right.
I use it mostly around the supernatural creatures, or that are either related to supernatural creatures or are supernatural creatures themselves. So I won't be as affected as when I'm doing it towards a normal creature.
Perfect. Wow. Wow. That's kind of awesome. So, like, tell me some more about like how you practice your. I guess they're not considered arts, but whatever you consider what you do. Tell me more about how you practice them, because
Oh,
that first step
eh,
is really helpful.
every day I do this. It's not like I'm taking days off. Well, it's not day per se. It's more like somewhere around evening to night, and I rarely skip a set practice. And if I skip it, I usually supplement it during the next day. But I don't want to skip it, because there are so many combinations that I can use and can discover over just trying and figuring stuff out.
Wow. Wow. And sometimes I don't. Well, I try not to use magic overly much because I don't know, it kind of feels like cheating in a lot of cases, but it's like a muscle. It's like training. I guess you're right. If I don't practice it constantly, like how am I expected that I'm to progress?
Now, that is to say, I'm not using it on other people without their
Right.
consent most of the time.
Right, right. I know there's legends about the Fae, but we're not that crazy. Most of us are not that crazy. There are some.
I'm not saying about Faye. I'm saying about in general, because it's like you're trying to heal your allies and defeat your enemies in general. You're not
Yes.
trying to use your powers just to, I don't know, fuck around for the sake of fucking around.
Right.
You know,
Right.
because it is a powerful tool, and in the wrong hands, it can bring a lot of damage, but in the right hands, it can do a lot of good.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, at least that's exactly how I like to think of it.
Mm, And I like to think of it the same way. That's why I usually caution my students plural, but one is actually my tradition and the other one isn't. But whatever, I'm teaching them both the
Whoa.
philosophy of dream speakers, but whatever.
Whoa. You're a teacher already. That's awesome.
I'm multiple things. I'm a student, I'm a teacher, I'm a priest,
Oh
I'm
yes.
a shaman, I'm a programmer, I'm a web designer, I work even at a investigative agency, but
So that's
I do a lot of things.
that's
But
that's that's awesome.
first and foremost, I am a dream speaker, and that's kind of what I do. I help people the ways that I can consider, help. Back to magic itself. in in my case, this is just me saying how I do it.
Right.
It has to go through multiple steps. Mm, First, it's the belief that I can do it.
Hmm.
Then it's the kind of like the dream speaker mentality. It has to be spiritual. It has to involve spirits in some way or another, whether it's my inner one or some outer. a spirit that I'm influencing from inside out. And I can literally just write a whole book about my paradigm because it's freaking complex. I mean, seriously, when I hear other people talking about how they do magic, you can literally go either a few paragraphs or a page. But when it comes to me, I can literally write a book on it.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I was trying to explain to one of the new uh, baby fae the medieval paradigm and how that works with us because we don't live in a medieval time period anymore. So that was interesting. But this paradigm that you said you're called dream speakers, that's awesome.
Well, my paradigm. Well, yeah, I am a dream speaker because I belong to the dream speaker tradition, which is one of the nine mystical traditions.
Wow.
Uh, and my sphere of influence that I'm best at is spirit. I deal with any type of spirit, including yours.
Hmm.
And he looks at you, including yours. That being said, I still need to learn about them before I can actually influence them in a significant way.
Awesome.
Uh, okay,
So
where
just
was I?
oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I keep interrupting with so many questions, but go ahead.
Oh
I'm
no,
sorry.
go ahead. I'll continue my lecture.
Oh, I'm just so interested. But dream speakers, because we consider ourselves children of dreams, the name just like had like a gravitas. So I just had to know more about it. But please continue.
Okay. And okay, where was I? Ah, yes. There is the bigger dream speaker uh, paradigm that I fit in, or that is my belief. That is how I think of things. But then it come the next step is the personal one, my paradigm, the way I see things, and I call it Deus ex machina, or in English, God from the machine.
Hmm.
It is a complex paradigm that, again, I can literally just write a whole book on, and I still wouldn't. Well, it would be a lengthy book and explaining every aspect in part. And then after I fit through that paradigm, I go through the foci that I use to focus my magic into doing certain things.
And that's the
You,
foci. The foci focus your magic, basically.
yeah, a foci can be anything from, well, look at your room.
Yeah.
Everything here is a foci.
Yeah, pretty much. It can be. Well,
Yeah,
we call them bunks, but yeah, you're right.
everything, and I'm including us too. Everything can be a foci if the mage wants it to. However, back to me, I generally use for most of my spheres dancing and meditating. Although for one sphere I usually use, well, the spirits from my smartphone.
That's an interesting use of technology.
Well, I made a pact with the spirits from my smartphone, and I can do correspondence with. But, you know, and well, basically, they told me whenever I want to talk to them to do magic involving correspondence, I should just write lines of code.
Cool. Cool. Kind of gets their attention.
Yeah, it's kind of, usually my magic is kind of indirect communication with spirits. It's not a direct, hey, what do you want to do? Yeah,
Right.
I want to do this and this. It's not me talking to them directly like that. It's just interpretive dance, focusing meditation through various yoga positions or the like, or just plain old computer software language that the spirits will understand.
Okay. That I got. The yoga. Tell me more about that. Does those postures do anything for you?
It's not the postures themselves. It's more like they are the foci that help me focus on the thing that I want to do.
The end result. Okay, got it. Got it. Got it.
Because everything is a focus towards doing something.
Okay.
For instance, I want to see your aura to define what type of magical creature you are. I use two spheres and meditate on trying to see the inner spirit within you. And well, last time I checked, it's like having a human spirit and a alien one possessing it.
Yeah.
Mm, and well, different spirits have different frequencies, colors, shapes, sizes, and that's how you can tell, let's say, a werewolf from a changeling from one of the fallen.
Ah, that makes sense. It's like our sight, but it's a lot more controlled, fine tuned, it sounds like. I could see typically only things that resonate like glamour, like magics and stuff like that.
Hmm. Well, yeah, I can do that as well because I have the appropriate sphere that actually shows me how much magic mage has stored
Hmm.
in their avatar, typically. Unless they're hiding them, although I haven't found one of them that actually did that yet. So, yeah.
Right. So after you like visualize the objective, you focus that through the foci, obviously. Then what
Obviously.
happens?
Well, magic happens depending on what I want to do. Because depending on what I want to do and how fancy of an effect I want it to, things happen. Sometimes I need to, just look at something for a few seconds. Other times I need something more substantial and I have to take a lot more time to focus on what I want to do.
Okay.
That being said, it doesn't work all the time, and sometimes the universe rejects my proposal and I get back slapped with a bunch of paradox.
Hmm.
But that's just mages. I don't think that anyone else is backstabbed by paradox, not so far that I know of.
Well, sometimes when we concentrate on like routine things to cancel out changeling magic, we get I don't know, the dream is kind of lessened within us. So I, I'm not sure if that's paradox, but there's a downside when we try and cancel changeling magic. So
Hmm.
um,
Well, every type of power has a drawback in some sense of the manner. It's not
well,
like everything works all of the time.
well, yeah, you say that, but I really didn't realize how similar like we would have been. I thought we were just two separate things, but a lot of the concepts are apply. A lot of the concepts that you use in your practice apply to like what a changeling will use. I think.
Possibly. I wouldn't know. No one actually bothered to talk to me about it.
Well, it's true. I'm telling you, it's kind of true. It's kind of scary. It's wow. I wonder if anyone has noticed this.
Well, there are a few mages that actually hang out with changelings a lot more than myself. However, I haven't met them, or maybe I have, but they kind of shut up about it. Although
Right.
one of them I know, and he's kind of hiding out right now.
Right.
But
This is
it,
good. This is good. This is good stuff.
mm,
You kind of.
so, do you need me to continue with my lecture, or
I just if you want to share more, please do. I am not by any means kicking you out. Um, Let me just grab a notebook though, because I want to write this down because this is great. Um,
sure?
okay. So
Mm-hmm.
he kind of gets up from the couch and goes to the kitchen. He brings back another water for you, and
Mm-hmm.
he has like a small notebook in his hand with a pen.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "This is great. This is great." So you like come up with an idea, exact obviously that you want to like do an idea that you want to bring into reality. Then you focus it through the focus.
Mm-hmm.
Great name for that, by the way. And then magic happens. But there's different ways of bringing that magic into the world. You were telling me that. You said there's
Mm-hmm.
different like spheres, I think you said, but we have different
Yeah.
arts. We have different
Yeah.
arts, so I think it's the same thing. Um,
Similar but different. But go on.
do you have to do different things with different spheres to make them to focus them into reality?
It's more like what I believe.
Oh, okay. Is it based
But
on like okay,
yeah, because well, I already told you I'm a dream speaker, and I usually focus through my spirit. I'm best at the spirit sphere. That being said, there are eight other people that, well, types of people now.
right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Types of people that focus through the other spheres and have their own viewpoints on how they view life. And even among the dream speakers, there are different types of dream speakers. And
Is there like any well with amongst spiritualists and shamans, like
mhm.
there's a stereotype of like rituals of purification that are used to like achieve enlightenment. Do you guys have any of those, or do you do any of those?
uh, I I usually get help on some of those.
Okay,
However, I really need to research a few. There are a few ideas going in my head on how to actually do a few of those, but I don't have the necessary spheres right now.
right, right. I just find it interesting. Um, what you said so far resonates with me so much, and I'm thinking what I have been involved with thus far in the kingdom may have created a little bit of a spiritual muck that might needs to be cleared away. Um, so I think that's going to be my next step. Um, this has been very helpful, though. This has been very insightful. Um, I think maybe I have a lot of information. I didn't have anything to go on before, though. He starts writing in his notebook again.
Mm-hmm. What part do you want me to continue my lecture on?
I'm kind of interested in the different ways, the different arts that mages have. I'm not because I want to know more about mages, but more that I'm just curious if there's any overlap between what we do and what you guys do.
Uh, okay, that's a bit vague.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm not. Philosophy was not one of my strong suits in college, so
No, it's all right, but I'm
you might
trying to
lose
figure
me.
out.
You might lose
I'm
me very
trying to
quickly.
figure out what would help you. And
So, well, we have different arts, but the one that I've hit the roadblock, the stumbling block with, was an art from like ancient Middle East Africa region. And it's
mhm.
called Tellcraft, and it's basically that telling tales and stuff like that. But that part of the art, I think, resonated with my that part of me that's forever. So like that strength carried me through until
Mhm.
now, until now, because now the art kind of breaks into like things that are nigh impossible, like deflecting physical things with words and then creating stuff from your mind. I just can't just can't imagine how to even root myself
Hmm. So
uh
the So deflecting actions with words, kind of like commanding, or is it like influencing to? Uh, well, there are different ways on actually getting to do such a thing.
Hmm.
You're either commanding someone else to do it, and you're commanding the inner spirit of the other person to kind of a sort of a mind control, or are you influencing the probability of things, and that is a different sphere entirely.
I think how I've seen it happen before um, is that the words themselves had enough physical weight that they reacted with the physical attacks very physically. So the words, when funneled, when funneled through this art, like physically, like combat like physical attacks, and like in some cases like fire and gas and all that other weird stuff. So it's just so hard to get um,
Hmm.
wrap my mind around. But um,
Interesting.
the the voice chakra is kind of like the anchor for truth. So maybe my being less than truthful in some situations has hampered my ability to master the finer details of that art. So yeah, I definitely have some things to think about. So that's yeah.
Although it's more like you, it's not necessarily true. Here's what I'm trying to think of, because of course uh, the truth is shrouded by lies, and that's how you cannot achieve enlightenment in your throat. But that's that's only part of the truth,
Hmm.
because magic in itself is rooted deep in belief. Because whenever you're looking at children that see a magic trick, you see that sense of wonder, that sense of awe that comes, and they're like, wow, it's so awesome. That is the feeling that you have to have every time you're doing magic. You have to believe it is awesome. It is wonderful. It is so fulfilling within you. That's why I even called my avatar Love, because I freaking love magic. It's better than any feeling that I've had so far.
Hmm.
It envelops you in a certain way that uh, words don't do it justice. And the fact that it's not necessarily that you are speaking lies, because I know a lot of liars among mages, and they do it at the drop of a hat and then preach about speaking the truth. Hypocrite, hypocrite. But that being said, you have to believe that what you're doing is the right thing. I'm. It's not me that is impeding you from what you want to do. It is your own sort of self that is impeding you. If I'm making any sense.
Yeah, he kind of stops for a moment and he sits back in his chair and he kind of like looks up and he's not really looking at the ceiling, but it's definite that he's having one of those aha moments that like kids have when they're being taught something by a master. So you can see he's definitely kind of like replaying some things across his eyes, and he's like, "Yeah, that makes sense. That Totally makes sense.
Because it's not like anyone can tell you how powerful or awesome you truly are. You kind of know it by, you know, a lot of practice, a lot of diligence, a lot of figuring things out on your own. I can tell you all about how I do my things. I have a library filled with external hard drives and notebooks and the like, but that applies to me. That's my findings. That's
Right.
my hard work on trying to figure out how I work with the tools that I've been given. And it's really more like trying to practice it in many different ways. Sometimes I get a few ideas just going out through the street and drink a drink with a few of the other supernaturals, and then I figure out a few things, you know, on the fly, or talk with other mages, or
Right.
even talk with those that I'm teaching, because they have a lot of interesting perspectives on life, and they can enlighten you in ways that you never thought you could be enlightened.
Huh. Well, I thank you for your enlightenment today. It really feels like I'm sitting at the footsteps of a master. This is this, I've spent a lot of money on this thus far, so and this is the farthest I've gotten. So I owe you one. This is really good.
uh, hey man, I really don't have anything better to do today, so I can. Well, that's kind of a lie, technically, because I always have something better to do. But I still think that teaching someone else and trying to help someone else through his or her problems is, or it,
Right.
depending, gender defined, whatever. I still help other people because that's kind of what I do.
Wow, that's
Mm.
awesome. That's awesome.
So, uh, do you need me to continue my explanation in a certain way so that, well, maybe you figure out other things?
Um, I don't think so. I think what you said last about the truth and not really focusing on the truth, but right and like feeding my perceptions through that is kind of the perspective that I needed with my art. I'm not really looking for a like a universal truth or like a truth from this very limited perspective. Um,
Uh, no,
magic, yeah, magic
it's
is a
not
truth.
not so much that you have to look for the truth that is all right for all of the universe. That's a
Right.
fallacy. Even if mages sometimes are called smaller gods or actual gods, that's not true most of the time. Here's why. Everything goes through a filter. Everything goes through a certain paradigm, a certain perspective. And that perspective is formed by who we are as a person, as a magic user, as everything that makes us us. All of the parts of us are moving cogs in the machine that produces the magic, and it's a very personal thing to us. That's why sometimes you think that changing magic is totally different from mage magic, is because you see it in a particular way, and well, the other mage has another point of view that might be totally alien to you.
Hmm.
It is inherently specific to you and your perspective, and the true person that is barring your actual passage through the whole steps of magic is your own being, because you don't truly understand it yet. uh, Kind of like in the movie Matrix, we cannot see beyond the consequences of our own choices.
I was worried that you were going to say that.
I'm sorry for making you worried, but
No. I needed to
yes.
hear it. I needed to hear it. Um, I'm the one searching for truth. I can't complain when I find it.
Well, and truth in and of itself isn't a particularly nice thing because you can find out some nasty stuff about the things that you actually are interested in finding out about.
Right.
But then again, what is true and applicable to me might not be true and applicable to you because we are two different people. We have two different lifestyles, two different ways of view, and even though we have a few things in common, at the end of the day, your bed is different from my bed, and the way I draw magic is different from where you draw magic. And that's why sometimes we can see eye to eye on certain perspectives, and other times we can disagree. That is available. Well, that is an type of universal truth because unless you kind of clone someone and have a perfect copy of you, and even then, that's sort of a iffy thing in and of itself.
Right. So that well within, that enlightenment that we're trying to seek from within
Hmm.
has I'm afraid that the enlightened me that's inside is different than the me I know now. Have you ever known anyone to change for the worse by seeking that inner enlightenment?
Uh, Not sure. And he scratches his head. He's trying to think about it hard.
I mean, but it sounds like it could happen, right?
It could, but then again, that's totally up to the individual.
Right, because there's still choice.
Because whether you want to accept it or not, it's totally up to you.
Right.
And how you accept it differs. Because let's put it in another way. Say, let's say, just to give an example, someone tries to save a child from a burning building.
Okay.
One person goes into the burning building, saves the child, but another person dies from respiratory arrest because of the hot fumes that destroy the lungs and the respiratory system. It can happen, it has different effects, same as enlightenment. How we do it, it's sometimes up to chance, others it's up to whether or not we're willing to actually go with the flow or we're actively going against the flow, or how willing we are to actually listen to our own selves and to one another. Because, well, that's part of my traditions thing, because we have to listen in order to advance. How we actually do succeed in it lies totally up to the individual.
Yeah, that's another good point there. Um, for being such a skilled storyteller, I haven't been doing a lot of listening as of lately. Um, and that's kind of one of the things you have to do to get better at your art is to listen, not necessarily to someone else in this case, but maybe to my body, to the currents that kind of define my face, soul, and mortal parts. Um,
Well, it's more of on the line of you you don't just listen to one thing. You listen to the universe that sings to you. You listen to the spirits that are around you. You have to listen to whatever. connections you have, or how fate decides, or
And you achieve this listening skills through your meditations?
mm, you can achieve it through meditation, dance, purification. You can achieve
Ah,
it through many things. It
many of the
doesn't
different.
have to be one thing.
Okay, I see. Many of the different foci that you mentioned.
Whatever focus you choose to use, it has to apply to you, to in order to do that thing that you want to do.
Makes sense. I should have sought you out a lot sooner. This
Uh,
all makes sense.
well, I actually do practice this and try to figure things out by myself most of the time. Other times, when I actually actively seek out, usually I'm either turned away or given another quest to do something that is meant to teach me a certain lesson.
Right.
However, the journey to getting enlightenment isn't a straight path. You generally get sidetracked by the different happenings, and the while you're trying to figure things out for yourself, the world moves on without you.
Oh, yes, I know about sidetracks. Let me tell you. That's my
And
life.
yeah, and it's not that we're doing it intentionally to, well, not all of us,
Sure.
to be sidetracked from our enlightenment. It just kind of happens. One day we're uh, thinking too much of the money we're making so that we can sustain our current lifestyles.
Yeah.
And some bad stuff happens, and we're so focused on that that we tend to forget of our both our mental and physical health, and we get diseased and then bedridden and die, and we don't know what happened. But it is no shame in asking help from one another, even if it's not the same species. If you listen enough to what others have to tell you, you can figure things out for yourself and try to avoid things, So as long as you're putting the effort into actively seek enlightenment, not just passively wait for things to happen,
Right.
then you'll be on the right track.
Well, let me say, I'm just glad you didn't tell me to shed all worldly attachments. So that's, I think
Mm,
I could do this. I think I could do this. This is definitely within the realm of possibility for me.
well, the whole worldly attachment thing is kind of preposterous in the sense that, well, if we ever get that powerful enough, we can actually create worlds of our own alongside the tree of life. So
You, how do you guys know about the tree of life?
it is in a lot of religions,
Oh,
both.
makes sense. Makes sense. Just freaked me out for a moment there.
Well, it's kind of, if you're looking in it, one, well, in the Judeo-Christian religions, it's called Sephiroth. In the Norse mythology, is called Yggdrasil.
Yes, it is.
And while personally I haven't seen the spiritual or dreaming manifestation of it, mm,
It's definitely
I
there.
it's there, and we mages make actually create worlds alongside it if we
Fascinating.
get strong enough.
That is
Again,
absolutely fascinating.
that is only if we put in the effort and knowledge on how to actually pull it off, and then pull it off. We're actually stronger if we get multiple mages and do something in a big ass ritual.
Makes sense.
As long as our worldly views actually, hmm, well, you know how it is. You have to prepare. You have to have all of the ingredients. You have to have the certain places, the certain timing, the and there are a lot of conditions involved to create something that is truly big and awesome. And it's not just okay. I'm doing this and it happens. No, it's you have to prepare and you have to find the right people that share your vision, that share your belief system, and you have to try to make it gel with you in order to actually do it, you know?
I do. I do.
And doing such things is pretty darn hard because, again, different people, different belief systems, different ways of perceiving the world. Uh, and that is what I keep on saying. Because we have different perceptions from one another, sometimes it's hard to actually reconcile on our differences and actually do shit together in order to achieve a certain goal. But when we pull it off, and that moment when everything just clicks, it's a wonderful feeling because then we can achieve true greatness.
Man, that is similar to what I thought about with certain groups of like changelings. Um,
Hmm.
we always want to help each other, which is great. That comes from such a great and helpful and healthy place. But to truly affect change, we really need to be surrounded by those people that truly think um, similar to the ways we do. Um, I was just thinking about one of those kind of like long term engagements like that, joining with someone else who truly thought similar to the way I did. It's more of a long term thing for us, I think, but
And
it's not a decision I have to make anytime soon.
and that's all right. You know best what you can do at the way you do it at your own pace. I'm not forcing any decisions upon yourself. I'm just trying to guide you and hopefully put you on the right path.
Yes, I've been down many of paths. if if only half of them were the right path, I'd be a much different person by now.
I don't know, but it's not for me to decide. You know,
Yeah,
it's
I'm
it's a
not sure.
complicated thing.
Sure, I'm not sure it's even for me to decide. Who's to say how I was intended to turn out?
There is a different universe for each possible multiple decision. It's called the string theory, uh, but
I've heard of that.
that's besides the point. We're trying to figure out in this timeline, in this particular universe, and how we can deal with our stuff right in the now, and
Right,
hopefully plan for the best possible outcome and prepare for it.
quite so.
Whether it succeeds or not, that is remain to be seen.
I would prefer to succeed, but it's just me.
Yeah, I know. Most people actually do, as I'm among the people that actually want to the best possible outcome to succeed. However, I don't believe that it will without working towards it.
Right, right. Connor, you are a lifesaver, dude.
Mm, I've done it 3 times before, so
This
Uh,
is this is this is literally mind blowing. Well, not literally mind blowing, figuratively mind
yeah,
blowing.
figuratively, yes. I don't want you to use that particular art and blow your mind. Please don't.
We have to be careful. Um,
Yeah, but
yeah, I
yeah,
think this is great.
figuratively mind blowing. Yes, it may be.
Okay. So I'm going to say that the two will sit and converse for as long as Kagoma can keep Connor. He'll
Hmm.
even order like pizza or like takeaway, like if Connor
Hmm.
wants to stay and chat with him for the rest of the day. But
Oh
he
no,
knows,
he's up to it. It's
yeah,
we can still roleplay as long as you have time, because he's like, fuck it, it wasn't that important
wasn't
anyway.
that
I got,
important. Yeah,
because
I have.
it's like, yeah, I got a new job, I have more money now, I don't have to worry about stuff, so I have time to talk to Kegoma about life and perspectives and stuff.
I can do what I want. Yeah, I have to run, but he will keep you hostage as long as he can. He will feed you. He will give you drinks. He's just writing because like your perspective on like all this different stuff is helping him so much that he's just trying to absorb everything he can.
And I think it will be somewhere around the well dinner time that kind of will be like, okay, so I think we talked enough, and I think that my housemates might
Might be
be
worried.
looking for me.
You
So,
you just went to the corner store and you've been going for like 5 hours now.
well, I wasn't at a corner store. That was a magic shop.
Ah,
Yeah, literally, arcane tomes can be found there among the mundane ones. But anyway, that's besides the point. I don't want to get them worried more than they have to.
oh no, not a problem. Not a problem. These lips are sealed.
Well, although technically, I have a few goals in mind, but I need to work towards them to actually figure out how to actually do it, and I haven't even the slightest clue on how to achieve them.
Well, keep this in mind. You've done me a favor, and some of the Fae, myself included, have some providence over luck. So, if ever you need just a little bit of luck in your life, let me know. Sometimes it could tip the balance in our favor. So,
Hmm.
for research or other mundane functions, a favor owed, feel free to call upon me.
All right, I'll call upon you. Although technically, I'll be trying to find an actual spirit of the fate or luck or whatever, and try to make a contract with it. Hopefully, it's not too bad, but you never know.
Well, I can find whatever I'm currently looking for. I typically have a habit of finding it. So,
Mm. Typically, they're usually found in casinos or dices or something like that. But that's another thing when I finally figure out how to awaken said spirits from their slumber. So there's that.
let me know. I'm your dude. I think I can help with that.
Okay, I'll see you later then. And Connor just gets up, goes to shake Kagoma's hand.
Kagama will shake your hand kind of very enthusiastically. It might not seem like much of an exchange for Connor because he has like other like students that he's teaching and stuff like that. But Kagoma has stumbled upon this block and he's been like hitting, like ramming his head against this roadblock for this creative block for some time. So now there's like some cracks in the wall that he could see through to the other side. So he's very excited at the promise of like finally moving forward with like his birthright.
Okay, he Connor just has like the well, the few people that actually want to listen to what he has to say, because not many people actually want to listen to what he has to say, but or
There
actually
are.
understand what he has to tell. But whatever.
Right, exactly.
And he goes off and finds his moped and goes back to the chantry. I
Cool.
think that's where we can end our scene.
Cool. Thanks everyone for watching. Have a good one.